Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 1, Book 12, number 787. Narrated by Ayub. Abu Kilaba said, Malik bin Huwairith came to us and led us in the prayer in this mosque of ours and said, I lead you in prayer, but I do not want to offer the prayer but just to show you how Allah's apostle performed his prayers. I asked Abu Kilaba, how was the prayer of Malik bin Huwairith? He replied, like the prayer of this sheikh of ours, i.e., Amr bin Salima. That sheikh used to pronounce the takbir perfectly, and when he raised his head from the second prostration he would sit for a while and then support himself on the ground and get up. Volume 1, Book 12, number 788. Narrated by Said bin al-Harith. Abu Sa'id led us in the prayer and said the takbir aloud on arising from the prostration, and on prostrating, on rising again, and on getting up from the second rak'ah. Abu Sa'id said, I saw the Prophet doing the same. Volume 1, Book 12, number 789. Narrated by Mutarif. Imran and I prayed behind Ali bin Abi Talib and he said takbir on prostrating, on rising and on getting up after the 2 rakat, i.e. after the second rak'ah. When the prayer was finished, Imran took me by the hand and said, he, Ali, has prayed the prayer of Muhammad, or said, he made us remember the prayer of Muhammad. Volume 1, Book 12, number 790. Narrated by Abdullah bin Abdullah. I saw Abdullah bin Umar crossing his legs while sitting in the prayer, and I, a mere youngster in those days, did the same. Ibn Umar forbade me to do so, and said, the proper way is to keep the right foot propped up and bend the left in the prayer. I said questioningly, but you are doing so, crossing the legs. He said, my feet cannot bear my weight. Volume 1, Book 12, number 791. Narrated by Muhammad bin Amr bin Arta. I was sitting with some of the companions of Allah's Apostle and we were discussing about the way of praying of the Prophet. Abu Humayd as-Saidi said, I remember the prayer of Allah's Apostle better than any one of you. I saw him raising both his hands up to the level of the shoulders on saying the takbir, and on bowing he placed his hands on both knees and bent his back straight. Then he stood up straight from bowing till all the vertebrae took their normal positions. In prostrations, he placed both his hands on the ground with the forearms away from the ground and away from his body, and his toes were facing the Qibla. On sitting in the second rak'ah he sat on his left foot and propped up the right one, and in the last rak'ah he pushed his left foot forward and kept the other foot propped up and sat over the buttocks. Volume 1, Book 12, number 792. Narrated by Abdullah bin Buhaina. He was from the tribe of Uzd Shanua and was the ally of the tribe of Abdul Manaf and was one of the companions of the Prophet. Once the Prophet led us in the Zuhr prayer and stood up after the second rak'ah and did not sit down. The people stood up with him. When the prayer was about to end and the people were waiting for him to say the taslim, he said takbir while sitting and prostrated twice before saying the taslim, and then he said the taslim. Volume 1, Book 12, number 793. Narrated by Abdullah bin Malik bin Buhaina. Once Allah's Apostle led us in the Zuhr prayer and got up, after the prostrations of the second rak'ah, although he should have sat, for the tashahhud. So at the end of the prayer, he prostrated twice while sitting, prostrations of Sahu. Volume 1, Book 12, number 794. Narrated by Shakuelq bin Salama. Abdullah said, whenever we prayed behind the Prophet we used to recite, in sitting, peace be on Gabriel, Michael, peace be on so and so. Once Allah's Apostle looked back at us and said, Allah himself is as salam, peace, and if any one of you prays then he should say, At-tahiyatu lillahi wassalawatu wa tayyibatu. Assalamu alayka ayuha en-nabiyu wa rahmatu Allahi wa barakatuhu. As-salam alayna wa ala abadullah is salihan. All the compliments, prayers and good things are due to Allah. Peace be on you, O Prophet, and Allah's mercy and blessings be on you. Peace be on us and on the true pious slaves of Allah. If you say that, it will be for all the slaves in the heaven and the earth. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. I testify that none has the right to be worshipped but Allah, and I also testify that Muhammad is his slave and his apostle. Volume 1, Book 12, number 795. Narrated by Aisha, the wife of the Prophet. Allah's apostle used to invoke Allah in the prayer, saying, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min adabi kabrai, wa a'udhu bika min fitnash masihid dajjal, wa a'udhu bika min fitnash mahya wa fitnash mamati. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-mathami wal magrami. O Allah, I seek refuge with you from the punishment of the grave and from the afflictions of Mazi, ad-Dajjal, and from the afflictions of life and death. O Allah, I seek refuge with you from the sins and from being in debt. Somebody said to him, why do you so frequently seek refuge with Allah from being in debt? The Prophet replied, a person in debt tells lies whenever he speaks, and breaks promises whenever he makes them. Aisha also narrated, I heard Allah's apostle in his prayer seeking refuge with Allah from the afflictions of ad-Dajjal. Volume 1, Book 12, number 796. Narrated by Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. I asked Allah's apostle to teach me an invocation so that I may invoke Allah with it in my prayer. He told me to say, Allahumma inni zalamtu nafsi zulman kathiran, wala yakfiru dunuba illa anta fafali maghfiratan min indika, warhamni innaka antal ghafurur rahim. O Allah, I have done great injustice to myself and none except you forgive sins, so please forgive me and be merciful to me as you are the forgiver, the merciful. Volume 1, Book 12, number 797. Narrated by Abdullah. When we prayed with the Prophet we used to say, peace be on Allah from his slaves and peace be on so and so. The Prophet said, don't say as-salam be on Allah, for he himself is as-salam, but say, at-tahiyatu lillahi was-salawatu wa tayyibatu. As-salamu alayka ayuhan nabiyu wa rahmatu Allahi wa barakatuhu. As-salamu alayna wa ala ibadillahi salihan. If you say this, then it will be for all the slaves in heaven or between heaven and earth. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. Then select the invocation you like best and recite it. See Hadith number 794, 795 and 796. Volume 1, Book 12, number 798. Narrated by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. I saw Allah's apostle prostrating in mud and water and saw the mark of mud on his forehead. Volume 1, Book 12, number 799. Narrated by Salama. Whenever Allah's apostle finished his prayers with taslim, the women would get up and he would stay on for a while in his place before getting up. Ibn Shihab said, I think, and Allah knows better, that the purpose of his stay was that the women might leave before the men who had finished their prayer. Volume 1, Book 12, number 800. Narrated by Itban bin Malik. We prayed with the Prophet and used to finish our prayer with the taslim along with him.
حي